Alright guys, so we're back in Deathmatch World Cup 5, the $10,000 Age of Empires 2 Deathmatch tournament. We got Turfux on Japanese versus Ganji on Tartars, yellow versus blue here. DM tournament, best of 5, Ganji taking game 1 over Turfux, and it looks like he may be able to really pressure his opponent once again. He's going for range first, but it sort of leaves him a little bit vulnerable with the villagers. And then meanwhile, it's going to take a while for this Cav Archer to actually take down the... Oh, he's going to maybe trap him here. The palisade wall does fall. Meanwhile, thank you for the follow. Back at home, Ganji looking quite safe and now able to transition to his ranges. So I don't know why Turfux didn't hit him then. Japanese gets the scout, don't they? So both our players going for heavy Cav Archers, and Ganji well down on score. I think that's mostly because he's actually outspending Turfux, who's lost a couple of villagers in the early game here. But things have sort of stabilised for Turfux in the meanwhile, who's now trying to put the pressure on Ganji. But he's really able to pick off a villager there. I think he's caught up a little bit, but not quite enough here, because Ganji's going to be able to go for 3 fairly quick castles and make it really hard for the Cav Archers to actually push. Like, I mean, Cav Archer v Cav Archer is great, but if you're behind on castles and you haven't really got them spread out, fanned out across 1 or 2 sides of your base, it makes it really hard to actually, you know, raid and defend, while your opponent, it's quite easy for them. But some more Cav Archers coming in the mix, but I think Turfux is going to have these guys all repelled in the minute by Ganji. But Ganji's going to find that the castle's now finished and he's sort of misplaced these guys, trying to split them up there. Now going to pick off a couple of villagers. This will be quite nice for him. I don't know why Turfux is committed to the keep, because it's been a bit costly for him. He's dropped 4 vills there. And now Ganji quick on the monks once again, double monastery. He's going to get this and get some gold in the meanwhile. It's nowhere near as strong as gold gen in AoE4, but bearing in mind, gold is just so crucial in DM, and it's so hard to actually keep gathering it. You've actually got to dump your other resources into it more often than not in order to be able to field such strong late game compositions. It keeps going nowhere fast, but while this is going on, Ganji still really applying the pressure to Turfux in other places. Turfux probably needs to add some siege in the mix here. He's dropped a lot of villagers, but here we go. He's getting the workshop, so let's see. He's going to be adding... Oh, he hasn't actually got anything in queue yet. This is rough for him. He probably needs to get Omegas. And the Trebuchet's not helping assist versus the heavy Cav Archers, which is a bit of a shame because it can sort of force a bit of micro here. Oh, and it does land a shot there. So it'll be good for Turfux, but there's just so much stuff here for Ganji, and he's continuing to prod at the other side of his base as well. Ganji's really only managed to get 2 town centers. Ganji's restricted Turfux to 2 town centers, while he's managed to get a few more himself. Got 3 and another one very close to completion. Here we go, some Omegas now for Turfux, so this is really going to up the ante. Ganji's going to have to try and micro through this, perhaps, because he's going to bleed a lot of them. He's having to retreat now. So Ganji now finding he's got to try and focus down the Omegas and micro through this. So he does snipe some of them, but there's another wave of them here from Turfux. Bearing in mind, these are quite expensive as well. He's going to have to keep training them and keep training other units to take the fight through this. So Turfux probably needs to look at dumping a whole bunch of food into the wood at the moment, so he can just keep fielding enough to defend through this. Ganji's starting to get an eco behind this, up to 50 pop. Turfux down at only 19 at the moment. Another Omega falling for Turfux, so things looking really rough for him at the moment. He's really just starting to slip behind in terms of production capability, and just desperately needs a fight to go his way. He's lost that castle to the trebs here. So Ganji's triple treb production really paying off now in Turfix. GG. That's game number 2, guys.